Hello, everybody. Oh, my light is like, well, my hat is not trying to catch my light. So, anyway, happy Saturday. I am coming to you today with a video about the psychology of swings. So, what I want you to understand is that we are definitely in a swingers market still. There have been times when swings were not working out for everyone or for a lot of people. But even with the chop that we've had, even with the corrective activity, I want you to notice we've been in a uptrend. So swings have really, really worked. What helps with swings? Time. Time helps so much. And if you really, really understand the Greeks, then you know that if you give yourself time, the wild swings, the corrections, that type of thing won't hurt you as much. So when I say time, I'm not talking about week. I'm not talking about 2 weeks. I'm not even talking about playing a weekly at all. I'm talking about going 2 to 3 months out and playing a monthly. Or even if you're swinging something on a 2 week chart, playing the next monthly, not playing a weekly. Okay? So let's get into a little bit on why you should or how you can use Frank's scanner to make a watch list and swing. Let's go. This is how we are going to go into the quarter making our watch list. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our quarterly news, bullish and bearish, the monthly news, bullish and bearish, weekly, bullish and bearish. Now, if you have not seen this video yet where I show you how to save them and make your watch list, then I'm going to post it here so that you can go check that out. So now that you have downloaded your watch list, you're going to go to your trading view and import your watch list, just like I showed you. And then you're going to go to them. So now when you go to them, you know they're going to be already organized like that. What you're going to do is start to go through each one of these and delete the ones that you're not familiar with. So by now you have some tickers that you're familiar with, you know how they move, or that you've played before. So X out all of the other ones and just leave the tickers that you are familiar with. So for instance, these are ones that I am familiar with, and they're still organized by how they were from when I downloaded them. So then you want to go through them and actually look at the setups to make sure that they match what they say, hammer shooter. And then when you go through them, organize them by which ones you like the most. So if you like PEP better than XLP, go ahead and put it at the top. So you're going to go through these, check them out, make sure that they match, organize by the ones that you like. Then you're going to go to the quarter bull and do the exact same thing. So as you're going through this, you're going to see some of these setups and say, okay, I'm going to go through these, see which ones I like, and I'm going to organize them by how I like them. All right. So once you do that for the quarter, you're going to come down and do that for the month as well, for bull and bear. Then you're going to come down and do that for the week, for bull and bear. Okay, and what you're going to start seeing is you're going to start seeing some of the same names that are on all three of your lists. So when you go through them and you start seeing them, for instance, let's say QCOM, all right? QCOM was on our list for an almost hammer, but red. So then once we go down to the month, we see that there's a green. Is not really a shooter at all. So it did go 2 up on the month, but it came back in. Then we go down to the week and we see we have an inside week. So now that we see we have an inside week and we know that on the quarter we have a somewhat hammer, if we're looking to trade it back into the direction and have the quarter go back full time frame continuity, then you would look at this inside week here as your possible actionable signal to take it back to the upside. So however from the week you would like to find your entry, whether or not you go down to the 4 hour, you have an inside 4 hour here, although it's a shooter, so it's looking like it may correct first and then go back into the time frame that you would like, or you can come on down to the hourly if that's how you'd like to play. So this is just an example. It's not really a watch list, but this is how I would use Frank's scanner to create my watch list. Then now that you've come down and you see the confluence, you can go back through and actually just condense these. So you can make one weekly list, a quarterly list, and a monthly list. And then you can name them. All you have to do is, over here, click on add section, and you can name it however you want to name it. So let's say we wanted our outside years. And we know that Google has a possible outside year. So if we wanted to, I mean, that's just an example, but that's how you can add a section here. So then once you make your weekly, monthly, and quarterly list, you can go from there. That is how you will find the best swings. Once you do that, you do need to further narrow them down so that, of course, you know, a lot of these have like 20 different tickers. You don't want that many. Find your best setups with the best magnitude and take it from there. All right, so let us use Starbucks as an example. So if we wanted to swing Starbucks, right? So we are looking at our quarterly chart, and we see here that Starbucks did an outside quarter. So we know that this automatically is the start of a quarterly, or the bottom of a quarterly broadening formation. So what are we going to do? Are we going to expand this broadening formation and do a 3-2 down with the target of 83? Let's go ahead and mark that. So that's going to be our quarter target, right? And then our quarter target break will be the low of last quarter. So 96.13 is what you're going to look for. So with that, we know that for a 3-month schedule, if we want to swing this, our target is going to be 83. So first we can look, we say, all right, we're in July. So we got July, August, September for this to play out. So you want to do a minimum of September contracts. So let's look at Starbucks and let's look at September. And we said 82 is our target. But we don't necessarily have to go to 82. You can use either the 85. You can go closer in the money. But what I would suggest you do is between your target and now, look to see which contracts have the most open interest and volume, and that'll tell you what people are buying. Okay, so you could do this 85 here if you wanted to. Oh, it's only 13 volumes, so you know, to be safer, maybe you want to do the 90. But you know that even if you did the 85, you know, you're looking for it to go all the way in the money. Okay, so that would be that swing. But then, you know, of course, that's going to take time. What if you want to swing it in the interim? So what you would do is you start going down to your smaller time frames and seeing what you have here. Okay, so we got our monthly. You know, we like to look at our 2-week. So this is another extra confluence here, or a shorter play that doesn't have to go out until September. You have your 2-week signal here. Now, granted, this is not an actionable signal, but what this is a double inside 2-week, meaning that for 4 weeks it is set in this range, and we're looking to see it break out. We are thinking that it's going to break down, but it can certainly break up, and we know that that is a possibility. In fact, let me go back to that monthly, because if it does break to the upside, we do here, you know, we're going to change this to purple, have a possible 3-2 down, 2 up reversal. Okay, with your target here back at this swing high at 115. So that would be your either way. So back to the 2-week. Now you have your double inside week, and you're saying, okay, if this breaks to the downside and I want to play a shorter time frame, here is my first target, this 89.31. So then we can go 2 weeks out would be the 21st of July, which is a monthly, which I do suggest because it gives some time, but you can go even further out. If you look at this monthly, it says that Starbucks is estimated to move $3.50 by July 21st. But we know that we are looking at this 2 week to come down and possibly do 89. So I would give it actually maybe even one more week. But here's what we look at. We're going to look at the volume and the open interest of these contracts to decide. If we know that we want Starbucks to get to this, once it breaks 97, we're looking for it to get to either 89 or even maybe stop here at this 92. I think 92 is a really good, strike to enter. However, I don't think doing this 92 for 2 weeks out is enough time. Okay, so let us look at one more week out and look at the volume. Okay, and open interest. It's somewhat there, but not enough. I like to see a comma in it. So you can even go all the way out until the beginning of next month if you want it, to give you a little bit more safety. The 92 it still doesn't have the volume that I like. So now let's look at August 18th. Now August 18th will give you an entire month and a half for it to fulfill. So if it goes in your direction, you can definitely do the 89 for August 18th, because it's estimated to move $7.81. Okay, so that's really about 92. But we know, our target is going to be 89. So you can do either this 90 or this 95 for August 18th. That would be my favorites, because look at this open interest and volume here. Okay, and you see the difference in the ones that I showed you before. Here you have them in the thousands. Okay, so the 90 or even the 95 put for August 18th could work. If you wanted a shorter play, I would look here at this 97.5 or even this 95 for July 21st. That gives you enough time for this to break out in whatever direction it's going to go. And if you want to come down even further to day trade it in the meantime, you see this head and shoulders here. All right, you got a shooter on the day here. Almost, no, that's more like a doji. But then you can 2 up, 2 down into your trade. And then what you can do is you can start with even the 14th and roll it over to the 21st, and just as it keeps going in your direction, roll it over. So if you got the 21st, you got the 97.5 here, you go in the money, you take your profits, it's still going, you roll this over out to the 18th of August, and you're going to roll it out to the 95, well, the 90, because by then you will be closer. So you're going to roll it out to the 90, and then you're going to get your 100%, and you're going to take profit, and then you're going to take it to the 15th of September. Remember, our target is 82, so you can roll that even over to that 85 by then. Or you can simply go buy September 15th $90 puts and hold them. This is for the people that don't have the time to do day trades or to watch it. You simply wait for it to break and you hold it. Now, if you can't watch it, how do you know when it breaks? This is what you do. So we marked our quarters targets, right? So what we do is you go here and you right click on it, and you're going to add an alert at that horizontal line. Okay? So what you want to know is when Starbucks crosses that line. Now, you can change to do it either once per bar close, once per minute, however you want to do it, and change when it expires. So if this hasn't triggered for me before a month is out, then it may not do it by then. Now, granted, we're looking at it on a 3-month time frame, so understand that it can take time, but still within a month it should have crossed that. So I'm going to name this quarter trigger down. down, and that right here will create it. You can also go here and change your notifications so that if I'm out, it'll give me a notification in the app, a pop-up, send me an email. This thing will tell you like however many times. Oh, plain text for estimates. Or oh, okay, that was new for me. But yeah, you can definitely create that, and then there's a alert right there at that line. So you know you'll get an alert once it has triggered. So then once it's triggered, you say, all right, I'm going to go down. Let me see what it's doing on the week so far. Okay? Because see, even right here on the week, we've had that double inside 2 week, but we have a possible rev strat here. So if it wants to do some correction, because we do see that this 97 area has been a strong support for it, it could rev strat back up to that monthly. So that's something that we do want to notice. So we'll put our little weekly thing here. So we want to see what it does. You know, is it going to rev strat and come back down in H and fall? So that's when we will sit here and watch it and see what it does, and then make our plays and our plan from there. But this is how you can make a watch list. You can trim it down, find your plays, and execute. So I hope this helped, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.